There you go. Hi everyone. Okay. Just telling somebody I'm on. We get ready for people to start joining in. Okay. Okay. Everybody. When you're here, just put a message. Say hello. Hi. Just message hello, so I know you're on. I'm gonna give it a couple of minutes. It's just 2 minutes to 2 o'clock. The microphone should be fine. Again, if there's no sound, let me know. But I have been checking it, and I've got a new microphone plugged in. All should be good. Okay. Here we go. I can see myself live. 2 minutes to 2 o'clock. I'm just going to put my phone on to airplane mode so it doesn't try and kick in over my computer. Nearly there. Say hello. Hi, Christine. Manager. There we go. Alright. Okay. Hi, Alan. We'll get started in a moment. So if you're here now, while we're waiting for other people to join in, these videos will be live and continue to stay live. Available on the website, the Active Wellbeing Society. Also, I believe the videos will be taken, copied off here and added onto the YouTube channel. So you can watch them here, or later you'll be able to access them through the YouTube channel. Some of my videos as well, I've decided to also put them on my own YouTube channel to make sure people can find them as easy as possible. Hi there, some people are joining in, that's great. If you're here, there's 18 people so far, just post a hello and we know you're in. Alright, so 2 minutes and we'll get started. Alright. Some of you watched last week, and in last week I talked about how the brain did what it did, and today I'm going to add a little bit of information to that. Oh, there we go. Look at those, all those kinds of little emoji face things coming up. Right. Okay. 24. Right. People who saw me last week, and some people haven't, maybe some new people. A little bit about myself first. Hi, Alan. Okay. Is that I teach Tai Chi in Cottridge Park, and some of you have been attending the other sessions with Perry and Steve and Josie, all the various Tai Chi across the city that we're running in the parks. And I'll be doing a session again live on Thursday from my garden, weather permitting. But the main thing, my full-time job, I suppose, as hopefully you can see some of the certificates here, is that I run a therapy centre for cognitive therapies in Birmingham. So I've seen people for coaching, NLP, hypnotherapy, anxiety, cognitive behavioural therapy. And I specialise in working with anxiety and trauma and addictions. And one of the issues is that, and I mentioned this before, is that anxiety is such a broad term. In fact, I was on a Skype call this morning to a client from Fuerteventura. And she was saying that she struggles so long with this, and she doesn't call it anxiety, she calls it fearfulness. And I don't mind what word people use to describe this state. But what it is, well, in the 90s and 2000s, people called it stress. And then it got moved along to anxiety, and some people call it fearfulness and worry and all kinds of stuff like that. So I don't mind what you call it. The most important thing is to realise is that this state that people are labelling as anxiety is a natural response by your sympathetic nervous system. Now I know it's called sympathetic and it really doesn't have any sympathy, but that's its job. Its job is, in moments of fear, danger, worry, it should activate your amygdala. Remember, it's my amygdala. In those moments of fear, danger, or worry, even if it's like a siren goes past, or you trip on a carpet, or your dog or your cat walks past and you fall over them, that moment when you trip, that moment when you trip, the amygdala activates and goes, uh-oh, danger, 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 danger. And its job is to check against its database of danger information. And if it is danger, then it activates the rest of your sympathetic nervous system, the limbic system, so your hippocampus, hypothalamus, and all kick in. So your blood pressure goes up, your heart rate changes, your breathing pattern changes. You get ready to fight or flight, to kill it or run away. That's its job, to protect you from perceived danger. But if there is no danger, this is happening. If it checks and there is no danger, it's supposed to switch off and go, no, that's absolutely fine. I just should look where I'm going. I need to trip over my cat, maybe jump, but cats do that. Not allowed to kick it, so I'm just going to relax. But everything's fine. That's his job. But once you've had anxiety, once you've had a panic attack, or if you are one of those people who might say you're an overthinker, then this keeps going. And it keeps ticking along in the background, and it becomes hyper-vigilant, hypersensitive, and anything can happen. This means, that could mean, this could mean, that could mean, this could mean. And that kind of process builds that tremory feeling, and that's been labelled by some now in the NHS, for example, as generalised anxiety disorder, because you seem generally anxious with no specific trigger. Now, of course, with what's going on with coronavirus, we're becoming more generally anxious because of all the information that's been put out by the news, telling us who hasn't got any equipment, whether we should have a mask or not, how far the distance is, how many people are dying from it every day in every part of the world, how it's nothing like this since the Spanish flu in the 1920s, even the Second World War didn't come close. There's all of this information being fed to us in a form of helping us know what's going on. But unfortunately, it also starts to build filters, and these filters, one of them is called the confirmation bias, or cognitive bias, that's the term, cognitive bias. I will share a link with people, and I'll post it in right now, and you can look at it later. But this link is for something called the reticular activating system, RAS. Now, the reticular activating system is at the base of your skull. So if I use my picture from last week, so it's based here at the base of the skull, and it acts as a filter system. And so the aim of the RAS is that it filters information, all your sensory data that comes. The world's a noisy place. Smell, sound, pictures, taste, everything. All your senses, all this data is hitting you constantly. And as this data hits you, there's such a sheer volume of data that this reticular activating system has to filter it out and say, yeah, you don't need to know that. You don't need to know that. This is what's important. This is what you believe. And so it filters and only lets certain data through. And the data it lets through is the data that you focus on. So the more you pay attention to things, the more the filter says, that's important, let that in. You know what it's like when you buy a new pair of glasses, or you're thinking about buying a new car. Lots of people have got the same type of glasses, or more people are wearing them now. And you see that kind of car everywhere, because you're focusing on it, and when you focus on it, that's what becomes real. Just give me a minute. I've just got to get some notes, because you're going to have some tasks to do. Okay. Okay. Did you miss me when I was gone? Right, okay. So the reticular activating system, it's what you focus on. It builds your experience, it builds your beliefs. The link I posted, is to a video on YouTube. So if you just type in reticular activating system, you see loads of videos and loads of explanations come up. Watch one of the videos on YouTube. I have posted a link, so by all means click and watch that and it'll explain it. In simple terms, what you focus on is what you pay attention to. That's great when you think about buying a new car, and that's what you're focusing on. That's great when you're thinking about what you have for tea, and suddenly you can smell barbecues and all kinds of other stuff happening, because what you focus on is the data it lets in. Now, unfortunately, if what you're focusing on is watching the news all day long, reading the newspaper, hearing about what things are happening, that filter lets more and more of it in, and then you start to look for evidence that supports that filter. So if the information that's getting fed to you is more and more people are dying, and now a tiger has caught it, does that mean animals can catch it? And if animals can catch it, does that mean they can pass it back to a human? And the way our brain starts to escalate and join these facts together. Facts, remember, not all facts. They're skews of information, so your brain says, well, if this could happen, that could happen, if that could happen, this could happen, that could happen, that could happen, and so on. And that's called magical thinking, or catastrophizing. Because you're focusing on it, it becomes more true, more real. And so your filters are your filters. If you say you have no confidence, you look for evidence to support the fact that you have no confidence. If you say people never talk to you, you'll start to notice how many people are not talking to you. Because what you focus on is what you start to see. And the more you do it, the more you talk to yourself about it, the more you talk to yourself about it, the more you focus on it, the more you focus on it, the more you believe it. It goes round and round and round and round and round. The more you focus on it, the more you talk about it, the more you believe it. The more you believe it, the more you see it, the more you look for evidence that supports that belief. And that's great if you want to build your confidence. It works extremely well. And I would say all the people that come and see me for whatever reason, always focus on the problem. And they keep bumping into the problem every day. They can't sleep, they have no confidence, they can't stop smoking, people are thinking bad things about them, they can't overcome their anxiety, addiction, they can't lose weight, all kinds of can'ts. And they focus on the can't constantly, so much so that they look for evidence that supports it. And the reason I'm telling you this is because anxiety is the same. If you're focusing on all the problems, you'll see more and more of the problems, and you get more and more anxious, and you look for more evidence to support that problem. Now, that's not going to help you. A healthy awareness is worth having. A healthy awareness that when you walk out and there's traffic, that you look both ways and make sure the road is clear before you cross. You stop looking at your phone and you look up and you're in the world. A healthy awareness. Unfortunately, people don't. They focus on this little world called phone or this little world called TV, and then that becomes reality. The cool thing is about our brain is it's ours, and when we teach it, it relearns. So whether you want to call it mindfulness or hypnosis or cognitive behavioral therapy or acceptance commitment therapy, I don't mind what label you give for it. The more you ground yourself, remember last week I talked about a grounding exercise, using your 5 senses, 5 things you can see, 4 things you can hear, 3 things you can feel, 2 things you can smell, 1 thing you can taste. If you use that simple grounding exercise, it puts you into neutral, and from that neutral present state, you can start to adjust those filters so you can see more proportionate to what's going on around you. Okay, right. Now, these filters then build something called cognitive bias. The cognitive bias is when you start to believe the evidence that's around you, and then you've seen it enough times, 3, 4, 5 times, it doesn't matter how many or how few, but the bias has been there, that you've seen the evidence enough times that therefore it's true. You know, the tiger catching coronavirus off his keeper. Then they said, oh, well, it could happen to this, it could happen to that. Then there'll be another one, and then suddenly the belief will be starting to spread that all animals can catch it and all animals can pass it. There's no data for that, but that's how beliefs work. Beliefs aren't truths, beliefs are beliefs. And when you build a cognitive bias, that bias starts to support that belief. Again, remember, you're not stuck with these things, they are yours. So you practice your grounding, your mindfulness, your relaxation, and start to build the filters that are useful to you. So yes, do you watch your daily updates? There's a half hour a day, I think it's about 4 or 5 o'clock, and they give you an update of real information. If you want other data, look on the NHS website or the government website. Don't use WhatsApp and social media to follow the beliefs, because I'll tell you all kinds of things, like spray cold water in your face stops you catching it, drinking sips of water stops you catching it, jumping up and down on one leg 10 minutes a day stops you catching it, wearing your shirt backwards stops you catching it. I don't know, I'm waiting for all kinds of new ones coming out. Cut your grass, stay at home, read a book, relax. Now, I said earlier that I'm going to set you all a task. And the task is to write a blues song. You know, do that kind of thing. I woke up this morning, my head was in a mess, You know, that kind of thing. I woke up this morning, and it was all shiny and lovely. I don't mind. You just start to write a blues song. So what I'm going to do is I wrote one just before I came on, and a good friend of mine, Paul Etchells, hope Paul's watching. Paul Etchells recorded me, put a few chords down on his guitar and messaged it to me, so I've got the music just to play along with. I'll give you a clue. Here it goes. Okay, so that's a tune, and we're going to have a little blues song. So here's one I wrote quickly this morning. I'm going to call it the Corona Blues. Why the hell not? I woke up this morning not knowing what day it is. Am I hungover from last night? No, my mind is in tears. There's so much information. What do I believe? The NHS and Gov sites are the best, as the media creates fear and mischief. With a wartime spirit, be safe and be calm. Wash your hands and stay home, and you may come to no harm. Hope you're joining in. Exercise regularly. Make time for family. Relax and don't stress. And we'll soon make it through this terrible mess with the help and support of our NHS. Alright then. What do you think? Oh, no, you can't join in. So what I want you to do is I want you to have a go. It's determined I'm going to keep playing this, isn't it? So I want you to have a go. Not right now, but you know the tune. I woke up this morning. That's the kind of thing. So I want you to write a song, something that's funny, that's silly. You just, the sillier it gets, the bigger it gets. Get your kids to join in, get your families to join in. You see, you can come up with a verse. I woke up this morning, and I looked out the window, and that's the window's too long, isn't it? What can I do? I woke up this morning, I woke up this morning, and opened my eyes, I looked out the window, the beautiful skies. There, see, it's easy. Just get it to flow, and then make it sillier and funnier, and cheer yourself up, and cheer your friends up. Okay, all right. Now, before we get on to the next thing, are there any questions? If you've got a question, just type it in and post it, and I'll answer it. Okay, so I'm just going to sit quietly while I wait for you to post something. Come on, Lynette, give it a go. Posty, post me something. I just keep talking otherwise. Is it comfortable? Is it, I can't do this uncomfortable silencing. Right, okay. While you're thinking of something to post, here's another idea for you. Mindfulness is such a wonderful, big, trendy thing to do now. Everyone's doing it, or everyone says they're doing it. Somebody even asked me recently, "Have you heard of this mindfulness thing?" And I said, well, I've been doing Tai Chi for 30 years, and mindfulness is not a new concept. It's just become into people's conscious awareness. Their reticular activating system is starting to notice it because people are talking about it. Yes, you can do a kind of meditation. You can sit watching a candle, because somebody posted a candle for me just. That was very nice, thank you. But anything that you do that you are attentive to, gardening, making a cup of tea, dancing, writing a blues song, cutting the grass, colouring in a colouring in book, juggling, doesn't matter. Anything that you're paying attention to and are mindful of, by its nature, is a mindful activity, and that will get you into a state of neutral. And in that state of neutral, you can start to retrain your filters, so you have a better perception of the world, more proportionate to what's real. You can start to retrain your amygdala, so you've put it on some kind of training course, so it learns when it should respond and how it should respond, rather than just let it go wild. Any activity that you enjoy doing, quiet and peacefully. Remember, peaceful doesn't mean just quiet, it could be noisy. Dancing around, singing along to Kerrang, I don't mind what it is. As long as you're doing it and you're enjoying it. I'm going to be cooking tea tonight, and when I do, I'm going to pay attention to how I cut the vegetables. I'm going to pay attention to how I prep the vegetables, how long things take. Now I have a choice. I can start fretting and running around and worrying that I get everything finished on time, or I can plan it out before, take my time, and enjoy each part mindfully. I can notice the water warming and starting to boil so I can add the vegetables. I can realise how long it takes, and how I can test the vegetables. And with, if I put a knife or a fork in, kinesthetically I can feel how firm or soft they are. I can smell the meat or whatever it is that's cooking. I can start to salivate, and my expectation from the smells firing straight into my brain, really enjoying what I'm doing. I can be mindful of each of those processes. I can then start to look into the future and imagine what it's going to be like when I'm eating it, and how I'm going to enjoy it, and my wife's going to enjoy it. Because apparently I'm doing more cooking now. She says she's training me to more self-sufficient. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. I think it's so she can watch more telly, but don't tell her. Right. So as you practice relaxing and practice being present from that comfortable state, you can then start to create your own mind-made movies. What I mean by that is anxiety is a state of anticipation. That you're expecting something to come that could be very bad or very good, because you can be anxious to meet people, and I find anxiety great when I think that I'm looking forward to. So I'm anxious to do, anxious to try, anxious to meet, anxious to experience. So anxiety is an anticipation state rather than a fear state. But when you sit back and you relax and you start to realise the movie that you've been playing, the one that's made you feel fearful, notice the qualities of the movie. Is it in colour or black and white? Are you fully associated, or are you observing it? So what I mean by that, are you in the movie, or are you watching it like it's recording on TV? Sort of, you've been framed, somebody sent it in, that kind of thing. When you're paying attention to this movie, of this thing that's coming, this fearful state, where do you get the feeling? What does the feeling feel like? All that kind of sensory data. And then think, well, actually, I am my own movie editor. So if I changed the speed of the movie, so it went faster or slower. If I changed the colours or the sounds or the soundtrack, what can happen? A while ago, I remember watching YouTube, and people were taking things like Titanic, at the front of the ship when they stood there, that lovely romantic scene, and the music's playing, and they're looking over the bows of the ship and getting all excited and all happy and all lovely. And they changed that music to Jaws. Remember? So if you can imagine looking over the front of that ship, then realise Jaws is there, or the sound that feeds you believes that Jaws is there, doesn't seem somehow quite so romantic and relaxing. So once you start to change these things, you change the qualities of any movie in your mind, because remember it's a mind-made movie, change the qualities, what happens? Hey, let's take Jaws. If you take the movie Jaws and think, what was it about Jaws that made it scary? It was the unknown. The shark was under the water, maybe you'd see a fin now and again, you'd hear the music, trying to replicate your heartbeat building up. How about if it wasn't Jaws, the great white killer, if it was Jaws, the great white tickler, that Jaws was going around under the water, sneaking up on people, tickling their feet. And when it came out of the water, you saw its teeth, but it had a gold filling and an eye patch. When you start to make those things silly, they become silly, not scary. So what I'm suggesting to you is, if you're finding that you're getting anxious, and when you're thinking about it, you're creating this mind-made movie, get yourself relaxed, get yourself grounded, get yourself into that neutral state. Imagine the movie on a screen in front of you, and that you are a TV editor. And as an editor, you can make it brighter, darker, louder, quieter, change qualities in it, change characters in it, make it go faster, make it go slower. Because the more you do this, the more you experience things differently, the more you realise that you're in charge of the filters that are being built. I hope that all begins to make sense. Test it out. Please test it out on small things that you're not bothered about too much. Don't go for the big worries straight away, because you'll get overrun with the fear state before you take charge of it. So pick something smaller, something like putting the bins out, I don't know, watering the garden, something that you keep putting off doing. Just see the movie, change the qualities, see yourself enjoying it. When you realise how easy it is and you've just done it, step back in and really do it and realise how much you enjoyed it. And then as you take more control of those smaller things, then you can start to relax. And in fact, anxiety will now be a state of curiosity. When you're anxious to realise just how more relaxed you can become, how more in control you are, how things worry you less, how you are naturally aware, comfortably aware, and proportionately aware, but not building things up too much. Okay, so let's have a go at some relaxation. So whether you're sitting or standing, I just want you to start to notice the environment around you. You can hear my voice, but you're also aware, is there any sounds around you? Passing traffic, birds singing, TV in the background. Maybe you're aware of the things you can see, the colours, the shapes, the pictures, the trees, whatever it might be. You just become aware of the world, the visual world around you. And the auditory world around you, the sounds. And now the feeling world, the kinesthetic. How warm or cool you feel. Whether one hand feels warmer or cooler than the other one. And if you were to close your eyes now, begin to notice how relaxed or tense your shoulders feel. When you breathe, is it just your chest that's moving, or does your stomach move as well? Because when you breathe in naturally deeply, your diaphragm moves, you get a sense of relaxing deeper, so that every muscle relaxes, so you feel strong but calm, relaxed yet full of the energies of life. That peaceful feeling. It isn't disrupted by the noise of the world, or sounds, or the feelings. Just everything supports you feeling more and more relaxed. Each breath deeper and deeper. Each thought easier and easier. Because as you relax, I want you to imagine yourself on a journey, making your way down a beautiful garden. Each step, feeling the ground beneath your feet, maybe the wind on your face, and even the birds singing. All the peace. Making your way down this beautiful garden, each step, deeper and deeper. And as you make your way down, in the distance you become aware. You can start to notice a place that seems somehow special to you. You don't quite know why, but you get drawn towards this special place. And as you make your way to this special place, you feel calmer and stronger and more relaxed. With each breath, deeper and deeper. Until you reach this special place. It feels so safe, so calm, so comfortable, that you know you can relax and recharge. And you also know that as you are relaxing and recharging, you can come back here any time you want to, because it's your special place, where you feel happy and safe, and you feel relaxed. And to come to this special place, all you need to do is breathe and close your eyes. You can go here so quickly, so deeply, so naturally. Whether you're with me, or at home, or at work, or at play. So easily, so naturally, so deeply. That's right. Allowing yourself to relax, to recharge, to feel safe. And as you continue to do this, on that journey, it feels so good, so happy, so free. Like, this could be one of your top 3 tips to help you relax, to help you overcome anxiety. To just breathe and go to this special place. Feeling so comfortable, feeling so connected. You can allow all your thoughts and worries to drift off with the breeze. Allow yourself to recharge naturally. And from this place, we're going to continue on a journey. We're going to continue to move deeper, so that all the sounds around the world don't disturb you, just enable you to feel even more relaxed. You can feel so safe, so strong, knowing that you can go there whenever you want to. All you would need to do is breathe. So keeping that feeling of relaxation with you, you're going to allow yourself to open your eyes and become more aware of the world around you, more aware of what you're doing. So that, like say Nikki for example, your special place, your safe place can be wherever you want to be. As long as you're practicing getting yourself in the right state of mind. It's so easy for any of us to build up fears around the world and to get them larger and larger to the point where our world gets smaller and smaller. But your world is always with you wherever you are. And as long as you're aware of where you are and aware of those people around you, Remember last week I talked about his handout. All you've got to do is message, and I can send you a free copy as a PDF. We'll give you some tools to help you relax. One of the tools would be, I'll call it the quick coach to overcome anxiety, and it helps you look at, when you draw yourself a picture. There we go, I'll show you. Draw yourself a picture, okay, and then you think, well, everything that's within my control I can draw it inside, everything that's within my control I can draw inside, and everything that's outside of my control I can draw outside, all around. And the questions are on there and the spaces on there. So the aim is that you start to identify what you're in control of and what you're not in control of, what you can influence and what not. And the more you're aware of that, that helps you to reduce your anxiety, because you can say, I'm in control of this space, I'm in control of these actions, control of these thoughts. I'm not in control of other people, I'm not in control of what the press is doing, but I am in control of whether I watch the news all day or just for the updates. I am in control of where I get the information from. I am in control of how I'm taking care of myself. I'm not in control of other people's beliefs, other people's worries, and I'm not going to let myself get sucked into that. So if you use simple tools of grounding to reduce your anxiety, the safe place exercise we were just doing, so that you think of a safe place as not so much a physical real place like one room in your house or anything like that, or your house, but a memory where you can go to and let go of all your stresses and worries. And the coaching tool so that you can start to think, well, what's within my control and what's out of my control. Another thing on the handout is I've used a technique for to overcome anxiety. It's called havening. It's a particular technique that's based on hypnotherapy, also to do with EFT, the tapping stuff. But the process is to interrupt that part of your brain. Okay, so I'm not selling anything. What I'm telling you is your brain would default to a pattern, and that pattern is worry, 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 and your amygdala is going to go like this, like mad. And the way to stop it, grounding techniques or pattern interrupt techniques, things like colouring in, going for a walk, making yourself a cup of tea, or the havening technique, which tells you to count your breaths, do tapping, sing happy birthday, a whole series of things. The aim is to interrupt your brain's pattern so you can feel relaxed, and in that neutral state you're starting to teach your brain what is more useful and more helpful. Let's see if there's any more comments down here. Okay. Remember, the PDF is free. You just got a message and ask for it, so I'll email you a copy, Chris, no problem. Anybody else, just have to message and ask and you can have it. It's just a PDF. You can open it and read it and take part and use the exercises. Always remember, keep things simple. Another tool I mentioned last week are cards. Now these are just file cards, you know the sort of standard file card you can get from any stationers, or you can use old envelopes. It doesn't really matter what it is, but on these you're going to write tips like, one card will say things to do to help me relax, grounding exercise, visualization, colouring in, making a cup of tea, going for a walk, wherever it might be, relaxation exercises, watching some relaxation on YouTube, anything. So a card of 3 or 4 things that you know help you relax. Then on another card you can write people to talk to when I want some help. You might be professional people, friends, people you want to talk to that will help you feel better. And then another card, and I think this is equally as useful, a card of people you want to talk to when you just want to talk about rubbish. Nothing to do with feeling good, feeling bad, nothing. Just talk about rubbish. You know, the sort of thing, if you're a football manager, who would play what position, who would win in a fight between a shark and a giraffe. I don't know, just stupid stuff, just rubbish stuff. Stuff that, I must admit, men talk about all the time at pubs. Just stuff, rubbish stuff. So if you had a card of ways to relax, a card of people to talk to when you want help, and a card of people you talk to when you just want to talk rubbish about nothing in particular. And you can invent other cards too, and the great thing about them, they fit in your pocket. So in that moment when you're struggling to relax, when you're struggling to stop that thinking pattern, when you're struggling to get out of that anxiety state, get your card out and choose one thing to do that you know works. And when you've done that one thing and you're in that neutral state, then you can start to practice learning and thinking differently. A definite thing about anxiety is anxiety grows. So if you have it and you avoid teaching it, it gets bigger. So if you're anxious about doing one thing and you don't do it, then you become anxious about doing another thing and you don't do that, and it can expand. It doesn't have to expand, just then it can. And so that idea of face your fear and do it anyway helps retrain anxiety. So whether you're doing it for your OCD and you're doing exposure response prevention treatment, or you're doing it to reduce your anxiety about putting the bins out, about sitting an exam, about phoning family or friend, anxiety about there's an avoidance. Sit, relax, and start to do the task. When you realise that you don't die from that task, when you realise that anxiety naturally subsides, that anxiety won't respond to that problem next time. Because you're teaching your reticular activating system, you're teaching your filters, you're retraining your brain. If you talk to yourself nicer, if you start moaning at yourself and saying, why can't I do this, why can't I do that? If you say, how can I do this, how can I do that? All of that helps your brain relearn. The most wonderful thing about it is our brain. And the more we teach it, let's see if anybody else made a comment. Okay, could I have a copy? Yes, of course, Becky. That's no problem at all. I will message you afterwards. Okay. Road safety. That's a great name. Hey, I don't mind. Yes, of course. What we'll do is we'll look at a way of posting it up here afterwards, and so that you can get a copy. So it's a 3 or 4 page PDF. You just use the different tools. Remember, use your cards, do your grounding techniques so you feel calm, practice your relaxation techniques, either the one I did earlier, you can continue to watch, or YouTube, whatever you want to do. 3 simple tasks. And all of this will help you. Whether you use my handouts, there's more tools, aren't there? There's the coaching tool to help you relax, there's the Havening technique to help you relax. All these processes are intended not to be avoidance, but they're intended to retrain your brain so you can feel more comfortable. All right. So we're going to, I'm going to round off the session now. I'll just give you another moment or two, see if you have any more questions. Sorry if I hadn't answered them sooner. What I hadn't done is I hadn't scrolled down. That makes good sense. I just presumed that it would automatically scroll up. So I do apologise, Nikki, for not noticing your different your number of comments, and Lynette. But your comments about being in a supermarket, these can be difficult. So many people are saying you should wear a mask, you shouldn't wear a mask, you should do this, you shouldn't do that. The person in Scotland advising we shouldn't go out goes away to our holiday home and sort of flouts the advice that she's doing. So all these people are doing what they're doing. Remember, those things are outside of your control. What is within your control is breathing and relaxing, using the information from your cards. What is within your control is grounding. What is within your control is the places you go to, how you use the social distancing of 2 meters or more. I've walked my dogs today, the amount of times they cross the road. There's a bonus, as you know. I don't know if you've noticed, but because each of us out there is feeling this slight nervousness, each of us out there is more aware of people around us. They're crossing the road or keeping a distance. More people are actually saying hello. The people who were always there before, but everyone was in their own little world, because now people are more present and aware of what's happening. People are starting to say hello. There's a wonderful thing. If you have a smile, you grow a smile. So when you start to smile, smiles become infectious. You do that. Smile to a stranger. How about that for a task? Smile to a stranger and say hello and thank you. They'll smile back, and you're paying forwards. Because each smile you give, each time you say thank you, and they say it back, the next person gets that too. Because maybe you said it to them the first time, and they hadn't thought about it. And now I see somebody down the road, and they'll say thank you and smile, and then that person will say thank you and smile, and now we'll spread that like a real real useful happiness virus. One when we share and care and start to notice. Okay, look, I look forward to seeing you all on Thursday for Tai Chi. Weather permitting, I'll be in the garden. I'm going to do something different that I've not done before in terms of how we're going to teach it and the exercise you're going to do. So please come and join in. The first part is it's Qigong, kind of Chinese aerobics, and everyone can do that. You've got a copy along. Next part is you practice learning. Sunshine in your garden. Well, I'll be there. You can use your phone, you can be outside, you can be indoors. But remember, it's within your control. You can choose. Okay. So thank you, Nikki. Thank you, Becky, and the others. I agree with you, Becky. There are many positives in every situation. We just have to notice them. The person I spoke to this morning from Ventura said he felt out of control, so she didn't go to certain places. I said, but you are in control of going there or not. Oh, I hadn't thought about that. So when you are in a car and somebody else is driving, you're in control of making that decision to be in that car. I said, oh, I hadn't thought about that. I said, yes, because you can always choose to decide to be in control of the decision to sit as a passenger, watch the world going by. That's your choice. The more we practice reframing, the more we practice paying attention to the things you want to pay attention to. What did I say earlier? What you focus on is what your reticular activating system does. So I'll put another link in case it gets lost. Please do take a look at it. Please do practice. Please do practice building the filters that are useful for you. Thank you all. Goodbye, and maybe see you next week. Practice, practice. I'll message out the PDF to everybody I can. Bye for now.